Do you know what annoys me?
What annoys you?
Service stations.
Service that.
Yeah.
Right.
So not so much the big ones like you get on the motorway, although they do come into this in some regard, but like the normal petrol stations that you get like on the side of the road, like the A roads to B road or in your local high street, that really annoys me.
What's so annoying about them?
So firstly, there's a few. So firstly, when you go in there, they will have signs for the toilets, but when you ask where the toilet is, they always say, "Sorry, sir, the toilet's broken or the toilet's not working."
Yeah, that's absolutely dreadful. If you're breaking your neck and you really need to go,
And
that's the worst.
And there's, particularly if they're advertising it at the front of the petrol station, saying, "Oh, customer toilets." You go there, they're broken. There's one which I go to, which is quite close to my house. And I went in there one day and I really needed to go. And I said, "Excuse me, mate, can you tell us where the toilet is, please?" I knew where it was, but just that way you find out whether they're working or not. He said, "Sorry, they're broken." And I'm quite annoyed. So I said, "You must have the worst plumber in existence because your toilets have been broken for the past 25 years. And he said, "Oh, no, sorry, they broke this morning." They didn't break this morning or that morning because I'd been there a couple of days ago and they weren't working, unless they do have the worst one in the world and they fixed them and they broke again 2 days later. It's ridiculous.
Maybe the staff have very heavy bowel movements.
Well,
They keep breaking them and clogging them.
this is true. But when I worked in a petrol station when I was at college, we had a staff toilet and we had the customer toilet. And it was part of our job to go and clean the toilets, which I know is not the nicest thing in the world. And it brings me
That's got to be it, though, right? The cleaning of the
I
toilet.
don't want to do it.
That's exactly.
Because that brings me on to my second point, is that if the toilets are working, then generally they are beyond disgusting. They stink, they're dirty, and it just, I don't know how they can allow them to. No, that's fine if they don't want to clean them. No. If they don't want to clean them, therefore don't let people use a toilet, which is what they're obviously doing. But then in that regard, don't advertise that you've got customer toilets.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah,
Use the space for something else. Have a little room in there.
have a little room or
Put anything in there.
a storage room.
With sauna.
Pull over for a sauna. Yeah. So moving on to my other one is that the petrol stations food prices for like bag of crisps or a drink or something are ridiculous. They're so expensive. Like they're a lot more expensive. Now you are paying for the convenience. I get that, but the amount extra that they're charging is astronomical. It doesn't make, and it's not fair. It's not fair. They are clearly making an absolute, and they're a business. All right, I'm not stupid. They're a business. They're there to make money. But I often go in there and I will see the price of something and I go, "I'm not paying that." All right, it's not me being tight. It's I'm not paying that. Now, if they brought the prices down, more people would go, "Oh, you know what? I'll buy that." So therefore, rather than getting one buy something, you might get 5 people buy something. So instead of making, I don't know, 30p more than everywhere else, I know it's a lot more than that, but for ease sake, 30p more, you made 10p, and you get 5 more people go in there, you're going to earn a lot more money. You're going to earn an extra 20p. That's very basic figures, you know what? But you get what I'm saying.
That's why I used to be a mathematician.
I did used to be a mathematician.
But I get that. But
I'm GCSE.
I'm a sucker for it. If I'm in there and I'm just like, I don't want to stop off anywhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else. And I'll see that. Remember breakfast bars? Those things that you used to get, which were amazing. And now they stopped doing them and it makes me really sad. If I see one of them, it could be £5. I'd go for it. If I saw one now, I definitely would.
But the thing is, occasionally you will go into a bigger one, not, as I said, the big motorway service stations, but a bigger petrol station on the side of the road. And they quite often now have a Greggs or a Subway in there. Now, they're obviously paying rent to use that space for it, but yet they don't charge any more because they know they've got a captive audience. So therefore, if they know they've got a captive audience and they're going to sell more because the prices are exactly the same, then why can't the petrol station say, oh, we've got a captive audience, let's sell our cans of Coke or our cans of bottles of water or whatever it is at the same regional price. 5p, 10p more, I wouldn't mind. You go, it's okay, they're making a bit more of a profit for convenience, but the amount they charge more is stupid. But bottles, that's another thing that annoys me, because bottles at the service stations, because a lot of service stations now have stopped selling cans of Coke or cans of Fanta, cans of this, that and the other fizzy drinks, and only selling the bottles. Now, obviously, they can charge more for the bottles, but the problem with the bottles, and I'm not going to go down the route of the stupid thing that attaches the lid to the bottle, that annoys me. But the fact that if you're driving, if you open a can of drink, the drink's open, so you just pick it up, have a swig, put it down. But if you've got a bottle, you put the lid back on. It's more dangerous. And secondly, because it's made of plastic, when it's sitting in a fridge, it doesn't get as cold as the can will get, because the metal can would obviously get colder than a piece of plastic. So therefore, the drink's not as cold as the can of drink.
But, well, what did you get for science? Because that just blew my mind. Metal stays colder.
I believe I got a B.
Yeah. I get that with the temperature, but seeing that I'm a bit of a passenger princess and I don't drive much, I do like a bottle that I can do up, because I get the fear that I'm going to open a can.
Sell both.
Oh, sell both, yeah. I get a can.
Voiceman broke you there. Sell both.
When I get a can, I have put it down in the little holder, and my brain just goes, it's going to spill everywhere. It's going to spill absolutely everywhere. You're going to do something stupid and it's going to go all over you. I just can't trust myself, I think.
Yeah, but if you're a driver, I tend to drive more. So therefore, I prefer to have a can, because then I can just open it and put it in the little drinks holder. And as you said, just pick it up, have a sip. Nice and instant satisfaction. But also, there's another thing. They're kind of two things that link into each other. But that quite often you get pay at pump, and then you get pay in store.
Yeah.
And most of them will do both. You can select whether you want to pay in pump, pay in store. But when you pull up to a pump to go and put your petrol in, and you get out, turn the car off, go and open up your cap, and then you go to pick up the nozzle thing, and it's pay at pump only. Now, what I wanted to get is something to drink. Or
an extortionate
price. So yeah, they should all be pay at pump or in store, or solely pay in store. They should not be pay at pump only. And speaking of paying in store, that annoys me, because when I worked at a petrol station, admittedly we didn't have phones. Everyone had phones, but it wasn't as kind of people glued to their phones like they are today. But we had a policy at work: when you're on the till, you can't be on your phone. Now, no matter where you go in the country, no matter where you go in the world, I've driven in many different countries, and it seems that the people that are working behind the counter on the till are always on their phone, no matter what time of day you go there. What are they talking about? You can't have that much to talk about that you're constantly on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to talk to people like us.
I'd highly think that's probably correct.
The ruffian.
Or walk in and moan that the toilets aren't working, the prices of drinks and stuff.
Yeah, they might just be listening to music.
This is true. Now, am I wrong on this? Am I being overly sensitive? Or do service stations, in particularly petrol stations, annoy you too? Let us know.